A back and forth game for your team at Elon, down 17-6 at the half. You guys take the lead quickly there in the third quarter, but then struggled down the stretch. Just kind of give me your impressions on the game.
Happy with our guys, how they came out right after halftime and, fought hard to get the lead and kind of just, had a rhythm going at that time. But again, things that we talk about, just costly penalties at the wrong time. We had a chance to be able to go up 27-17 and we get two penalties that brings us back. One we get down to the 5, and then another one we score, and they both get called back, and then we throw an interception. And so that's the thing that I'm studying now, is just these costly penalties in times that we don't need them. And then defensively we've got to be able to stop the run. That was something that we were very good at last year, and right now we're not reaching our goal of where we want to be in stopping the run. So if we can eliminate uncostly penalties and then stop the run on defense, we'll give ourselves a chance.
You were without Jaquan Snipes again, but you rolled out a couple of freshman running backs in Ja'Kai Chavis and Grayson Goldsmith. Ja'Kai, the huge 75-yard touchdown run on the first play there of the second half. Just how did you feel like those guys performed in that setting, and what are their potential?
Yeah, they again remind me of the 2021 when we had 3 freshmen here and 2 of those guys played. They're very talented. We were happy to get them when they came here. Their future is definitely bright. They're strong, hard runners. They have a good grasp of the game already. And so, to see them have the success that they did, it's exciting to see, their future here over the next 3 or 4 years.
Braden Davis got the start for you at quarterback. And certainly had some bright spots, 194 yards and a touchdown, as you said, a couple of interceptions. But how did you feel like he performed?
Yeah, I thought he came in and did well. He kind of took, started from, after the Howard game and kind of how he, played and did some good things, and then had a good week in practice. And it was good to see him go out and throw the ball and run like he did, and just to get his feel for the game. So excited to see kind of just his growth and where he can take this offense.
You mentioned your inability to stop the run. They ran for 288, especially there in the second half and in the fourth quarter. What was the biggest issue that they were causing for you guys?
I think this, some of our guys, we're getting tired, because they were staying on the field. We have to play complementary football offensively. I thought there were some times where the defense did a great job, and we have to stay on the field a little longer, sustain drives. And again, I go back to those penalties. All of a sudden you go up 27-17. Does that give a different look to the game and what they have to do? So, some guys not in their gaps, some guys didn't blitz, but it's a team effort, offensively, defensively, and special teams. We all have to do our part to help each area so that they don't get wore down.
I know in the past game they were able to get the one big play there in the first half, but you also were able to get a lot of pressure on their quarterback. They ended up with 3 sacks. You also picked one off. Were you pleased with the pressure you were able to get on their quarterback?
Yeah, I was. We're coming up. Again, we talked about just getting to know our guys and what guys' strengths and weaknesses are, and I think we're starting to understand, who can do what, and start, using their talents to their best ability. And so it was good to see us get after the quarterback and put some pressure on him and make him have to get it out of his hands early. But at the end of the day, we talked about we have to we have to tackle, and we have to and make people miss tackles. And so those are the things that, we continue to have to stride on. The game is, when I say it's simple, you can't have penalties, you can't turn it over, and you got to be able to tackle. And if you do those three things, you give yourself a chance.
Look ahead to Saturday, the Battle of the Bay. Always a big rivalry for bragging rights in the Tidewater area. Let's just start with the Norfolk State team. What are some of the challenges they present for you?
Offensively, they have their quarterback, their running back and wide receiver. Everything kind of goes through those three guys. The quarterback, he kind of wasn't the starter at the beginning, and then kind of stayed the course. And now you see him kind of really getting comfortable with the offense and doing some things with him. And then, the running back, they get him the ball in many different ways. And then they have a receiver out there that they can get the ball to. So, you got to be on your P's and Q's because of what they can do with the offensive side. Defensively, they're big up front. They do some things. They give you some multiple looks up front, and so you have to prepare for that. I think their secondary is a heck of a secondary. They cover well. They run to the ball well. They'll strike you. And then special teams, they have some returners on a punt return and kickoff return that you better know where they're at and better get them bottled up and tackled.
I would say the hiring of Mike Vick as their head coach has created a lot of buzz and attention down in the Tidewater area. Have you seen a sort of an energy level increase in their program?
Yeah, I mean, of course, he's getting started. He's still trying to figure out his guys, and they're still trying to figure out him. And so he's I know he's over there doing a great job getting those guys motivated and ready to play. And of course, this game is a big game. Because of what comes with it. And so, we'll be prepared. I know he'll have his guys prepared, and it'll be a great atmosphere on Saturday.
You guys have played in a few rivalry games here already this season with the Battle of the Real ASU and then the conference game at A&T. But what makes the Battle of the Bay game special?
I just think the proximity of the two schools, and we're both right here, so you're definitely recruiting the same young men. So it's just a lot of intertwine where coaches are from this area, players are from this area. You're recruiting a lot of the same young men. You see each other when you're out on the road recruiting right here. You see each other in camps that are right here. So just the fact that there's a lot of connections to one another makes this even more special.
You guys have spent a lot of time on the road here over the first 5 weeks. How excited are you to have a home game on Saturday?
It is nice. We feel like we've been on the road a lot traveling. So it will be nice that on Friday we don't have to pack up and get on the road early and give our guys a chance to sleep in before, we get started later Friday afternoon.
All right, Chen. Thanks so much for the time here this afternoon. Good luck against Norfolk State on Saturday, and look forward to talking again next week.
Thank you.
All right.